Hey y'all, N4H&H here. Talk about inclement weather. Look at my ZS6 BKW. Has a limb caught in the ladder line. Can you see that? Here we go, center of the screen. We had just had some major wind. I heard something snap out there. I'm shooting this through the window, sorry, because I'm trying to not get soaked. But there we go. And now there's the R5. Tell you what, I'm gonna open the door. It's calmed down a little bit now. The wind's going not as much sideways. Earlier, it was just going sideways. It was massive. Oh no. Oh man. See that coax, how low it is? Something happened with my, oh, I hope the rope didn't break. Something happened with my my Fritzl FD4. Because that coax is for the FD4. And that coax should not be below that cable down there. Let me zoom in so you can see. See how low to the ground it is? Man, after this gets done, I've got some work to do. Yeah, I'm looking at the R5, it's okay. It was really swaying a while ago. Wind's picking back up again. That's gonna be an interesting deal there, getting that limb off. I'll just have to go out there and undo the rope. Let me zoom in and show you the rock. See that rock going up and down? That's the rope for the ZS6 BKW. It goes through you've seen it in some of my videos, it goes through a hook, a loop, not a hook, well, a loop that's, you know, screwed into the tree, and then comes up over the limb, and it's getting pretty windy again. Man, look at that. Let me zoom out. Oh, I just want you to know that is unusual for this area. Oh man, look at that. The creek is flowing. That only has water in it when it's running off of the road out there. That comes from the road. Look at those trees. Wow. I mean, you know, in the inclement weather collection on my Patreon site, there is some video footage of that R5 when hurricane, was it Zeta? Can't quite recall. I think it was something with a Z. Came through at night, and I got some footage of the R5 bending over. But I honestly think this is pretty close to almost as windy as that. You know, we don't get usually the full force of the hurricanes. Here, we get, 60 mile an hour winds, maybe 65 tops by the time hurricanes get to us. But yeah, I'm not liking that limb hanging on my ZS6 BKW coax there. Of course, there's the Diamond X50 for 2 meters and 70 centimeters, and it's not going anywhere. That pole goes all the way down to the ground. The pole for the R5 Cushcraft over there also, you know, that's a 10, 12, 15, 17, 20 meter vertical, no radials required. It has radials at the bottom. You can't see them for that roof there, but that antenna is on a mast that also goes all the way down to the ground. It's a shame Cushcraft antennas are not available anymore. They were some of the best verticals made. and they made them to where they would function without ground radials. But yeah, something's going on with my Fritzl over there, my FD4. When this dies down, I'll go check on it. It's been hit, it's been damaged before by storms. As a matter of fact, if you look in the inclement weather collection on my Patreon site, you'll see where I had to repair it at least once or twice from limbs falling on it. And see that dead tree over there? Well, there was another piece of that fell on it and broke it one time. But hey, you know what? I'm sure I'm fortunate compared to a lot of you guys who especially live in storm alleys, you know, that have had entire towers blown down, things like that. My antennas are usually not as difficult to repair. But anyway, just thought I'd let y'all see that. It's getting back to the range coming straight down again, so hopefully this will get past us here soon and I can get out there and check on my antennas. All right, hey, thanks for watching videos on my channel, and 73 from N4H&H. And stand by, I'm going to acknowledge 5 of the Patreon team member long haulers. These are people who have supported the channel on an annual basis for multiple years as an S9 VIP. And I want to acknowledge them because without them, none of these videos would exist. Thank you so much. 73 from N4H&H. Okay, I'm out here at the Fritzl FD4. Well, that rock there is for my doublet. But that rope you see there goes up to the FD4. And the FD4 seems okay. Let me tell you what happened. See this rope? Goes there, you can see it goes through that loop, which has gotten bent. I have to fix that over time. It's gotten bent, but let me see if you can see. There's something stuck on the. No, that's the balun. Let me zoom in. Okay, there in the center of your screen's the balun. So here's what happened, and it's exactly the way I designed it to happen. I configured it this way. This rope, I built a relief into it, and the relief did its job. Okay, I'm gonna fix it back and then you'll see what I mean. Okay, so there you go. What I've got is, see the rope here, all the slack? Let me zoom out here so you can see. There's the slack. All right, and there's a lot wrapped up there. That's so I can lower the antenna for maintenance, but look at that. Yeah, I have my safety fuses all around the ground here. Take a twig, pull the rope through the hoop tight, and then wrap a couple of turns around the twig. The wind gets up high enough, it'll break the twig. And so now the coax is back where it belongs. All right, let me go take a look at the ZS6BKW now. By the way, walking from the doublet to the ZS6, look at this. That's probably what I heard snap off. Not too bad. See here where a tree fell a few years ago. That's covered in a video. Lightning strike, by the way. The other piece of the tree, there you go. It's still over there, look. See it? So that's where it broke off. And this one took down another tree, and between the two of them took down my ZS6BKW and my Fritzl. And again, you can look at those videos and see how I had to do the repairs on those. Yeah, you know, part of being a ham. So look at the rock for the ZS6BKW. Yeah, you know, these rocks were here when I moved here, so I borrowed some. You got to get just the right weight. You don't want to put too much strain pulling against the antenna, but you have to have enough that it'll go back down. Now, right now, everything's wet and it doesn't want to go down because it's got that limb hanging on it. See, you can see it now with the light. You can see it very well. And look, the limb has also caught the wire. See that? The wire is going through the limb. Oh, there you go. See the wire? Now the other wire you see there, that's the doublet, and it's fine. But look at the wire from the ZS6BKW coming down from the center point, but it's also hung in the ladder line. So that's a calamity there, okay? So I got a couple of choices. I can try to lower it enough that I can reach that with my tree trimming tool, and that might get it out. Or I can undo the rope on that rock and just let out enough slack that I can pull it off. That's probably the more wise thing to do, because I don't want to take a chance on that tree trimming saw cutting my ladder line. Okay, or my wire. All right, so let me get with it. You can see there, I chose the more prudent method, and there's the limb over there, close enough I can reach it. And by the way, I was mentioning the trees that got struck by lightning. I've talked about this in some videos, and also I've written about it in some of my posts and in video descriptions. So if you're an avid viewer of my channel or a member of the Patreon support team, you would have already heard this or read this. But this particular area I live in, this zip code, according to Georgia Power Company, receives the most lightning strikes each year of any zip code of Metro Atlanta. And yet, even with strikes as close as that, and look, there's my shack window, the bottom over there, the bottom left, I've never had a damaging lightning strike take out any of my equipment. Only indirectly from striking that tree and the tree falling on my antenna wires. Okay, so go ahead and cross the bridge here. See the water's finished now. That flows in off the street drain. So now I'll go over here, and I don't know if I can do this and hold the camera too, but it's not really wrapped too tightly in the, there we go. It wasn't really wrapped too tightly in the ladder line. I tried to shake it off though, and it wouldn't. So you can see my ZS6BKW junction here. This is one of the earlier models, and you'll notice that I have some RTV sealant there over the bolts and some tape here. And let me tell you why. The strain relief, see the strain relief, the rope goes up there and is heat shrinked to the ladder line. Well, look at the moss looking stuff growing on there. Well, the problem is every time it rained, the rope got wet, and the way it was built, the rope actually came in direct contact with these two bolts. So can you imagine what happens when the rope is wet? And these are, each of these is supposed to be only one side of that ladder line. Okay, by the way, you purists will probably say, well, that's not ladder line, that's window line. Okay, yeah, it functions as, parallel feed. But anyway, yeah, it was a little bit of an oversight. So I not only did the tape over the rope, I also put the RTV so that when it rains and the rope gets wet, it does not affect the SWR. That said, let me just warn you that when ladder line gets wet, window line here especially like that, it will affect the SWR anyway. But this was adding more problems, and so that's how I solved it. By the way, this unit here actually has a lightning arrestor inside. This is an earlier version of the ZS6BKW from ni4l.com. Love this antenna. You know, I don't take sponsorships from anybody. I only promote things that I truly believe in, and I bought this with my own money. And I still think it's one of the greatest antennas out there, and especially for under $200. I mean, these people buying end-feds for $300, it will not outperform this antenna. But anyway, that's mine. The newer models they don't have the lightning arrestor in them, but they're a little bit more waterproof, okay, I should say. The ladder lines go down into the black cap, and it's got an SO239 that's up inside. See, mine is exposed. But You see there I use a coax seal, which, by the way, incredible. That Fritzl that's over there that I was showing you earlier, that FD4, I bought that in 1993, 2 or 3. Still the original antenna, second QTH. I bought it when I lived in my previous home. And it's got that's the original coax, RG213. And there's coax seal up at the top. It's had a small tree land on the coax, pull the antenna down. That's also when it broke the wire. Yeah, the tree actually hit the wire first, broke it, and then laid on this coax all the way to the ground, tugging on that coax connector up there. And I thought, sure, that's it, it's done for. But the way I affix my PL250 to my coax is the way I learned at Motorola. And that test right there proved that is the absolutely best way to solder a PL259 on. Yeah, you heard me say solder. And I actually, it's getting dark again. Oh no, here it comes back. My boss at Motorola taught me that, and it's the way I've done it ever since. And I've covered that in a video where I show how I put a PL259 connector on a coax. So that has stood the test of time. Here it is, 2025. That antenna's a like I said, it's a 1993 model. It's still functioning today. It's a shame that Kurt Fritzl, K-U-R-T, Fritzl, F-R-I-T-Z-E-L, and that's model FD4, the 3 kilowatt version. Kurt passed away, and those antennas are not available anymore, except maybe used. It is a great, I should tell you what it is if you're not familiar with it. That is an off-center fed dipole with a 6-to-1, 3 kilowatt ballon. The best off-center fed dipole I've ever used, but even it most of the time will not beat the ZS6BKW. I tell you what it is great about is it receives every band from 6 meters through 80 quite well, so I can use it as an alternate receive antenna. It has a low noise figure, that's also good. But anyway, I better finish this up and get back in because sounds like it's coming back. Hey, I'm going to insert this footage in here too. This is one end of my ZS6BKW. See the bungee there? That's a brand new one I just replaced. See the relief? So the bungee can stretch and allow it to have more rope when it's getting pulled to and fro. Well, I noticed that there was a sag in it, and let me show you why. That's the old bungee that I just removed. It was broken, hanging on by one thread. So I put a new one. Now you may be wondering, well, why don't you put a better bungee? Well, actually, I want these kind that can degrade a little bit over time, and if it gets really, really bad, they'll break. So, yes, I could get a stronger bungee, but like I said, it's kind of a fail-safe system here. I'd rather everything else break but the antenna. All right, just wanted to insert that footage in there for you. Hey, thanks for watching videos on my channel. 73 from N4H&H, and please stand by for about 42 seconds. I want to acknowledge 5 of the Patreon team members I call long haulers. Without them, you wouldn't have seen this video or hundreds of others. These are people that join at S9 level annually, and they've supported my work for multiple years. Okay, yeah, I'm getting an alert on my phone, lightning proximity alert. Okay, here we go again. All right, thanks guys. 73 from N4H&H.